Welcome back to Desert Dynasty. I'm Sefa, this is Rick, and this is Adam, and we're just a bunch of Cardinals fans that are hyped to bring you freaking content every single week. Thank you for joining this podcast. Today, we got a fun one. We're going to talk about the NFL draft, clearly, and then all the pro days that have been going on. Is Ty Simpson really worth it at number 3? And are the Cardinals going to draft Francis Mauigoa, the right tackle of the future? Is he the next Penei Sewell? Who effing knows, right? We don't know, but let's break it down. And welcome back, everybody. I appreciate you. I appreciate the likes, the follows, the subscriptions. Welcome back to the studio. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's get it, bro. What's up, man?
Like I said, man, we got so much to break down. Again, we have podcasts every single week. To all you new subscribers and commenters and likes anything to our YouTube or our Spotify, even Instagram. We appreciate it, and we love to shout you guys out. So we did actually get a couple comments on our most recent podcast, which was last week. And one of them said, finally, his name was A.A. Bowens. Finally, some podcasters that think trading back in the first round is a bad idea for the Cardinals. Thanks, bro. Appreciate the comment. And hell yeah, man. Trading back into the first is going to cost a lot of money, a lot of draft capital, and people aren't saying that enough. So we're going to continue saying that on our podcast. And the other comment we got from Alan Snow, shout out to you, bro. He said, if we trade down with Kansas City for the 9th and 26th, we could realistically get Ty Simpson. Thanks for the comment. I agree with that, because we trade down and we don't lose any capital that we had, and we gain capital by getting that 29th pick. Draft best player available, obviously, at 9, and then if Ty Simpson's available at 29, draft him then.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Ty Simpson's gonna be tough to get in the second round overall because the Jets are picking 33 overall, so and they need a quarterback, So we would have to be basically trying to beat the Jets. They might pick up them at 16 as well. So it's like we'd have to figure out if we want Ty Simpson between 16 and 33 in that range, because if Jets don't pick him up 16, then we'd have to try to find a way to jump him.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to go crazy in that Ty Simpson talk soon. Because that's a big topic, right, in the Cardinals right now.
Well, just to piggyback off of, like, if we trade back, I've been kind of thinking about it. If we pick best player available and it's not a tackle at 9, if we do trade back regardless, 9, 10, 11, 6.
Anywhere.
If we don't take a tackle there, but we have a second one in the bottom of the first, we have to take a tackle there, because I think they're all going to be gone, at least the ones we really like, by the second round. So then Ty Simpson, realistically, we would have to pick him up at 34. So we'll have to see how that goes. But like Junior said, I don't think that would even happen just because of need from other teams.
Right. Yeah. Last week, Thomas, he commented on our episode. He really liked the blind ranking the Cardinals players segment. So we're going to do it really quickly here. Also, it's pretty cool for our listeners when you're driving to work. Do it in your head, right? You're like, where would I rank this dude? So with that being said, it's 5 players, and Adam and Rick don't know who I'm going to say next. I'm going to give them one player, and they have to blindly rank them. And they're stuck at that rank. You can't move after that. So
is this one still Cardinals, or are you doing random?
Still Cardinals. Okay. For now, we can always switch it up in the future. But anyways, the first player to be revealed is James Conner. Where do you rank him? The running back of the Arizona Cardinals, fan favorite, wife favorite. Just kidding.
For me, 5.
It's just a yo girl. 5?
5?
Yeah. I would say 4, because like you don't know if there's gonna be someone worse, right?
Yeah, I can go 4.
And he's not that bad. I would say 3 if I knew like the whole list, but I think 4 is safe bet.
Yeah, I think I can go 4.
Nice. That was pretty fair. Second on this list, Patrick Peterson. P2.
That might be a 1, right?
I'm going to go 2.
What if that's the best player, though? Like, what if he's not trolling us?
Well, then what if he puts Anquan Bolden? I put Anquan Bolden over Pat Pete.
Over Pete?
Or Kurt Warner. because he didn't say
Okay,
last week.
yeah, okay, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I
2
mean, it
for
could
Pat
screw
Pete.
us, but we'll see.
2 for Pat Pete. I
Okay.
mean, I would 1 kind of because he's my
Yeah.
favorite, but
Yeah.
2 makes sense.
Love
All
Pat
right.
Pete. 2's a good spot. Number 3, Carson Palmer.
Okay, 3 is pretty good
I think
for
I
him,
like
I
3.
think.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
Carson?
3 is good for him because if there's a Kurt Warner, Anquan Upton coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carson's
So
good
now
3.
we have 2 spots left. It's either worst or first.
Okay.
So that being said, the number 4 player on this list is Marvin Harrison Jr.
5. Or yeah,
Okay.
5.
Yeah.
You
All
have
right,
to place him at
5.
5.
That's fair. He's been a bust so far. Love him, but 5's good.
Yeah.
The last player on this list is Anquan Bolden. Q.
Yes, let's go. I love our
Anquan
list
Bolden.
again. I love our
Number
list.
1. Number
Yep.
1.
So we got Anquan Bolden, Pat Pete, and then you did Carson Palmer, and then James Conner, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. is 5.
Dude,
Hey, I'm not
I
gonna
knew
lie.
it. I knew it.
Back to back, our lists are pretty nice. Okay?
Goated.
I'm not mad about it.
Man, I gotta make it harder for y'all. I gotta put someone shitty at the end.
I was just saying,
and then you're like,
you know what you gotta do? You know, you gotta put someone shitty like at the beginning and the end. That way you know that we're fucked.
Yeah.
You know what we gotta do is we gotta do an NFL one or like a wide receiver one, all NFL.
Oh, for sure.
That way you could figure out like that one's a tough one too. That'd be really
that
tough.
one will be crazy tough.
I want to eventually make a reel where we do one of these. I don't know, a fun reel that you can post and people will be like, yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks for joining that segment. We don't even have a name for it, but it's just fun to blindly rank shit. Diving right in, Junior, we had clearly a really weird offseason and free agency included. We got a lot of mixed and negative free agency grades. Being last week, I can't remember who, it was an NFL analyst, ranked all of the NFL teams in order, who did the best and who did the worst. And the Cardinals came out in the freaking dead last 32nd overall out of all the teams in the NFL. What is your opinion on our free agency? Do we deserve the last place rating? Like, why are we getting all the smoke? What is your opinion?
Yeah, I got really. I was actually in agreement with this dude that put us 32nd overall. Monty Ossenfort has yet again dropped the ball when it comes to taking initiative in the free agency. Yeah, because we were all on board like, hey, we need a quarterback. We want to be competitive next year, and we're losing Kyler Murray. And so the best option we had was, Malik Willis, and we didn't even like sniff a contract out, for him. And we lost to someone that had no money in cap space in the Dolphins. So yeah, dropped the ball on the quarterback, and then he's just making a bunch of mid signings of players that won't make an impact on his team. Like I understand, like Algier is a good player; he's still going to be RB2, and then you have Kendrick Bourne, wide receiver 3. You might not even see the ball, especially since we have Michael Wilson, MHJ, and Trey McBride. Then you got the D line, Roy Lopez. We dropped him last year. Why are we picking him up again this year? You know what I mean? Like a bunch of players that, in my opinion, aren't going to sniff the freaking field or be a huge impact. Even Brian Baldinger said that. He's like, yeah, not anyone that I think is going to be a super big impact. So I can see why we're ranked last in this free agency hire. They're safe bets, and that's all the freaking plain butter and toast GM ever does is safe bets, but we want to freaking do a splash, man. And so that's what I was thinking.
Butter and toast. I love that.
Butter and toast, Monty Ossenfort. It doesn't put sugar on it. Doesn't put jam on it.
No,
just butter.
dude.
Just butter. And it's lightly toasted,
like
too.
Head, bro.
It's not burnt. It's just light toast, so it's barely toasted.
Yeah, bro.
Adam, play
Wonder Bread, dude.
Adam, play with me a little devil's advocate. Give me the other way around of what Rick was talking about. I want to hear that argument.
Yeah, you knew I was thinking it, to be honest. There wasn't any splash signings. That is a fact, right? There's nothing other than, honestly, I really like the Steelers pick, the guard from the Steelers. I really like him. I guess the Steelers were a really young team, young on the offensive line, and he was the leader of them, the more leaders on the offensive line, the better, I think, especially for a young guard like Isaiah Adams. to really learn from somebody who just specializes at guard, I think that's really important. And I hope he helps improve him. I think that's my favorite signing, though. Now, in regards to being ranked 32nd, I will have to disagree with that because how I look at free agency is how much are you improving your team? And there was something that came out either yesterday or today by ESPN stating that based off of the free agent signings and how much they improved your team, we were ranked right in the middle, 16. And I kind of agree with that. We dropped the ball on the quarterback. You can't hide it. And I think that Malik Willis going to the Dolphins was probably strictly based off of the GM, the defensive coordinator going over there. And we had an awful grade on our report card, right? And I think that that plays a factor when you're essentially looking to be a franchise quarterback somewhere. You want to go somewhere where you know they're going to take care of your family and take care of you and continue building around you and the team, and you know the Dolphins are going to do that. We don't know because also our GM's on the verge of getting fired, so
Mhm.
you don't know if that plays a factor. And I think other free agents are thinking that too. So I think based off of the circumference of what our team is right now, I like our free agent signings, but also I think we're not going big this year because I think we know internally it's a rebuild year. I think that's how they're thinking, which is really sad. Just pile on in the draft with talent, and then next year draft your franchise quarterback. And we have almost $160 million in cap space next year. So you know if we don't like a quarterback or love a quarterback in the draft, we're going to go buy one. So
Mhm.
it's sad to say it, and it was the craziest realization for me today that really we're tanking this year. But it could also show that hey, maybe Mike LaFleur is really him and just makes our team great with
Right.
mediocre talent. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Well, and it's a really, really weird time for the Cardinals because you look at our roster and it's not bad. It
Yeah.
We have a lot of pieces on every single side of the ball. And it's really just in my opinion, we weren't able to put it together, and that's a coaching issue. So
Yes.
in theory, if we're able to get a better coach to coach up our assets and our players, we can be a better football team. Granted, we're playing in the NFC West, hardest division in NFL in football,
Hmm.
and we have insane quarterback play from Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, and I'm
Sam Darnold.
forgetting Sam Darnold. Yeah, see, it's hard to forget the Super Bowl champs. My bad. Um, but yeah, it's tough. But I think Adam's right. It seems like a lot of people are saying this is a rebuild year, but we have to keep in mind, boys, Monty Ossenfort isn't in rebuild mode because
Mm-mm.
if he loses the same amount of games, if not, or just wins a couple games next year, he's not going to keep his job. There's no way. Why would you keep your job if you're 15 and 36 right now? You're not going to keep
Hmm.
your job. Period. So
Hmm.
Do you
Yeah, I
think
would
his
say.
season oh, sorry. Do you think his
Oh, you're good.
season is more based off of, "Hey, did we hire the right coach who can develop our young players?" Do you think that is more so the focus this year of like, "Hey, you're gonna keep your job or you're not necessarily wins or losses?"
I would say if they win like maybe half of their games, then he could keep his job, like, if they go 500, but I do see what Seth was saying, that if they lose the same amount of games this year, that
No
he
matter
can't keep his
what.
job because he's in charge of personnel. Like,
Yeah.
and if the team isn't up to par, and they haven't been every year since he's been
Mhm.
in this regime, it would definitely fall on him to even if it's a rebuild year. That's why I think that Monty's against the wall right now. The back's against the
Yeah.
wall, and they have some kind of smoke mirrors going on because they don't want people to know what we're doing. Um, and that's why I think Ty Simpson's more of a bigger topic than we thought it would be as a Cardinal fan. So I don't know. In my opinion, I think Monty knows that he has to win this year or he's fired.
Let me
It's a winning culture, you know.
let me just spitball just like this just popped in my head when you said that. Let's just without looking at the schedule, we don't know who we beat, who we lose to, blah blah blah. Just based off of record, let's say we're week 7 and we're just we're 4-3 or 5-2, lost some close games against some good opponents. Just hypothetically, okay? Let's say some other teams have some great players, but they're having a down year, like the Ravens or something, and this person's on a contract year where they're making a lot of money this year, and then next year they're making more. And it's a situation for the Cardinals where, like, hey, we could really go and steal this guy for a fourth or a fifth round pick. Do you think at that point we pull the trigger? And do you think Monty Ossenfort would be willing to do that because his job's on the line? Or do you think, like, no matter what, like, we're just not making that kind of move?
I think that's a great question because, like Rick's saying, Monty's job is clearly on the line, and it's going to be for the entire season. And anything that can save his job, whether that's a player or that's finding something somehow, some way to win a football game, I think he's going to do it. And that includes leveraging future capital to draft a motherfucking quarterback who only played 15 college football games, right? Let's just talk about it. I'm not going to wait till the end of the podcast. So Ty Simpson is played 15 football games, and then he was injured for some of them, and, like, I don't know. He had a mid college career. I can say that as I never played D1 football, right? But I think
I
think it's a mistake if we have to leverage capital to trade up in this draft.
Yes.
Anything. A pick, because what it took for the New York Giants to draft Jackson Dart was their second that year, which is the same as ours, 34, and their third the same year, same draft, so their second and third pick and a future third. So we don't get a day 2 pick because that's 2 rounds gone, and a future third, just to trade up to 25 to get Jackson Dart. If we have to trade up to snipe the Jets at 15, we have to give it more than a 2 and 2 threes.
The Jets. Well, I was going to say the Jets are thinking they can get him at 33, so they wouldn't get him at 16.
I know, but still, I'm saying some people are saying, "Oh, to be safe, take." Because the Jets could take him at 16, even though we know they wouldn't. They could, and people are saying you have to trade up to 15 if you want to guarantee to get Ty Simpson.
We'd have to give away more then.
I think around 16, the Jets are probably going to trade down. Me personally thinking there's always a run on one position, because for some reason, like, they're so talented, but they just fall just based off of, hey, like, necessity. This is what we got to get. I think tackles are going to go earlier and then super late, but I think corners and safeties are going to go, like, right there in the teens. And I think the Jets might trade back and then maybe take him in the 20s.
Quarterback in the 20s. Yeah, it's definitely, we'd be selling away the farm to get Ty Simpson. And the crappy thing is, I can see that playing devil's advocate, Ty Simpson gives us more juice than fucking Jacoby Brissett, because he sits in the pocket. He's the same type of quarterback that Shanahan and McVay love to coach. Pocket passer, is a type, like a field general type, and that would do wonders for Mike LaFleur. But I can see what you're saying. He's only had 15 starts, and it's unprecedented to draft a first-round talent with only 15 starts. I think the only other quarterback was Cam Newton, but he was a freak show,
Yeah, 6'5", 250.
Yeah,
huge.
This guy's only 6'1", 210 pounds, like, tiny dude. Gets hit, will probably get injured in the NFL. But it's like, it's just tough to see us try to give away the farm for one dude that hasn't played much football.
I'm not a. Go ahead, Adam. I was saying I'm not a hater of Kyler Murray, but doesn't it seem like we're drafting another Kyler Murray, undersized quarterback, and we want him to exceed in this NFL, in the hardest division in NFL history?
You know where we're drafting? We're drafting a less talented
2.0.
Josh Rosen, kind of. We're drafting a less talented Tua.
Yes, 100%.
To be honest, Ty Simpson reminds me of AJ McCarron, just more athletic. That's who he reminds me of. That's why I said last podcast, he's a 3rd round pick in this draft. If in any other draft. If this was next year, he's going to be a 4th round pick.
Quarterbacks are so bad in this draft. He's considered the second best in this draft.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
You don't agree, Junior?
No, I'm saying
Oh.
I'm mad about that. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
hearing
yeah.
about what you guys are saying, and I'm like, why are we even thinking about trading away anything, any future capital for that?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I remember Brian Baldinger was on today about or yesterday, my bad,
I like
about
his
it, and he was
takes.
saying he said, "Oh yeah, like I wouldn't draft a Ty Simpson. I would just go for a Nussmeier who came from
Yes.
LSU, very
Or
big school,
Holler.
and his dad played NFL and coach,
Mhm.
and he lived football his whole life, and had many starts in the college rankings. And you could take a flyer late in the team, in like the
Fourth.
sixth or the fourth round,
Fifth.
around there, and actually keep your assets, as in a top second round pick, the first and the third round, and then you can actually build your team up. And if Nussmeier doesn't work out, we understand where we can go from there in 27,
Yes.
because you guys, like, they already dropped the ball in free agency. So don't try to be like, we need Ty Simpson. He's not like, even Kyler Murray. When we saw him in
Yes.
college, we needed Kyler Murray.
Yes.
We don't need a Ty Simpson. You watch the tape, he looks good. He's not a bad prospect, but he's not amazing
He's
prospect,
not give up your future assets and capital type of guy, like Patrick Mahomes was in college, or
Yeah.
that one Clemson quarterback that's not good anymore, Deshaun Watson. Guys like
Yeah.
that. In the time of the draft, everybody was giving up capital to get them because they were so great in college. Ty Simpson, like you said, good prospect, good prospect. I'm not saying he's a bad prospect. He's just not. We can't give up anything for him. And this is what I'll say to end the topic of the conversation is, at least for this week, Ty Simpson, I'm okay if he falls to 34 and the Cardinals draft him. I'm perfectly fine with that. We never gave up anything for him. He fell to us. Cool. You took a flyer on him at 34. I'm not mad at that. Anything else? Trade up for him? Hell no. Unless, or like I said, if we trade down, got capital like 9 and 29, and we got him at 29, I'm fine with that too.
Yes.
But we don't give up anything for him, and that's my opinion. And I'll die on a hill until that happens. What do I think the Cardinals are going to do? Everything we never want them to do. They do it every year. So I think they're going to trade up in this draft, and they're going to take Ty Simpson, and we're going to give away future capital, and it's going to set us back. But yeah.
I think there's two sides of the coin, right? We might go the route where we draft him earlier than we want to, and we sit him for 2 years, which would be the dumbest thing on planet Earth. But we'd go the route where maybe Mike LaFleur learned from his brother Matt from Green Bay. That's what they do with their quarterbacks. Or we don't draft him because we understand, hey, we can get another quarterback who's just as talented and maybe has more upside because he can stay in the pocket and make the throw accurately. Carson Beck, and we can get that guy in the 5th round and not have to trade any capital, and we'll still get we know we're getting our quarterback next year. I think those are the two sides of the coin. So
yeah. And another crazy thing is, even if we draft Ty Simpson 16 overall, right, or 15, he's not even going to start.
He's not playing.
I'm sorry, Jacoby Brissett's better than you. Even Gardner
Minshew's better than you.
Those are the top QB2s in the league. You can't argue me on this. Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett anywhere would be their number one, or the good QB2. Like, everyone would want them. But we have two number QB2s, so one of them's got to start.
Yeah.
But you're not telling me that this guy, Ty Simpson's going to start over these guys because he's not as talented.
He's not. So we're drafting somebody to develop. It's so like bullshit. It's bullshit. I hate it.
So we're going to give away the farm and take away good picks like the 2nd round that Adam was saying is a steal. We could get the guy from ASU, the tackle, or even the cornerback. And we're giving that up for someone that's going to sit the bench. So, that's the only reason why I would want to.
Katie McDonald.
Yes. And there's so many people. We're going to talk about it. But I don't want to bring it up right now. But let's go to the next conversation, okay? Clearly, the number 3 pick pressure is real, okay? So, in your opinion, do you guys think this is a can't-miss pick, like stick and pick, or do you want to trade back? Is the number 3 pick going to set us up for failure, or is it going to set us up for success in the future? What is your guys' opinion on the number 3 pick?
I like the second pick just for the fact that you can get the top of anyone you want really, because first overall is Fernando Mendoza, and so technically we're going to be picking second in the draft, and so I don't know. I just you can like if the talent was so like blue chip, as in like these guys are generational Miles Garrett types, yeah, you're like, okay, well, let's not even chance it. Let's get these guys. But this draft, there's so many different talents that you're like, I could I could trade down and figure someone out that would be just as good at three at
Mhm.
number 10. So I could see the appeal. Me, in my personal opinion, I really like Maui Noah, so I want to stick and pick just because I see the hole in O line and our team, and I can see a potential of him being a perennial All Pro guard
Tackle.
or a Pro Bowler as a tackle and for the next decade. So I like the pick at 3 just to stay, but I know what Adam's opinion is on this.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I've been falling in love with Maunoa a lot lately. Um, and I like to mess around with the mock drafts. I've been paying attention more because it's been getting more narrowed since we're getting closer to the draft and free agency's over. So kind of where teams are going,
Hmm.
talent wise. I think the Browns are taking a tackle no matter what. So
Hmm.
if
And they're 5,
I want Maunoa really bad. So for me personally, if we're gonna trade back, we have to trade back twice.
and
We
you
need
wouldn't get
to
Marino at that point, right?
Right. So the furthest we can trade back is 5 with what is that, the Giants?
Hmm.
Hmm.
If you want Mawanoa. If you don't want Mawanoa, then and you want a different tackle maybe later in the first, or in the top of the second, trade back with the Chiefs. Go get 2 first round picks. But if you want Mawanoa, you have
You
to
have to
trade
take him
back,
top 5.
but you should still trade back to 4 or 5 ahead of the Browns. Get a third round pick, get a third and a fourth, a second
Hmm.
and a fifth, so that way you get more draft capital here because there's so much talent in the first 2 rounds, first 3 rounds, really. You might have to trade back up, to get a
I would
player
love
you
that.
want.
And
So,
I would love that, and I agree. I think it sucks sometimes when you're put in a position of
hmm
having a high draft pick because there's a lot more pressure
yeah,
on hitting on your draft pick. Because if it doesn't hit, you wasted so much power or whatever you had in this NFL draft. And
hmm
you see it time and time again. The same teams always suck. Keep on picking at the top. So what is it that makes an NFL team successful? It is a culmination of drafting great prospects and also picking up great free agents. It's a whole shebang. It's not just like one player. And that's what makes it stressful to get this 3 pick right. But it looks like in all of our opinion, Maui Noah is going to be an impact to our team. Period.
yeah,
He's going to make that O-line great. The way he plays offensive line, he's just a mauler. And same goes for that lineman over at Penn State, Ione. And then
Ione,
also, I like Caden Proctor, the Alabama tackle. I'm happy with any of those 3 guys to help our offensive line. I know we could probably get Ione or Caden Proctor underneath the top 10, probably like at 12, but I prefer Francis Mauigoa, and I think Adam's right. We have to get him top 3, top
yeah,
4.
Yeah, and honestly, O-line has become a sleeper, just going early on in the first round every year now. Like
Mm-hmm.
we are always like, oh, we could get Tyler Booker at 16 overall.
Went to
No, he
11
went
to
like
the
number 8 or
Cowboys.
something like
Yeah.
that. So I'm like, we love these online prospects, but obviously the NFL understands their talent and is going to pick
hmm
him up, earlier than we even want to. So I
yeah,
remember they had what was it? David Bailey going 9 overall to the Kansas City Chiefs. I was like,
not happening.
you're smoking,
Top 5 easily.
Yeah.
yes. I was like, there's no way like you can let these great players fall because you want your team to pick them up. I'm sorry, but it's just not going to happen. So it's like, yeah, I feel like now O lineman has become such a sneaky top draft pick that if you really love a guy,
You have
you're
to
not going to
take
get
him.
him if you trade back.
Hmm.
Yeah.
hmm
And we got lucky with Paris. I don't think we could get lucky again this time if we trade back. I think if you want Maui, you got to stick and pick. I'm afraid if we did trade back, let's just say with the Giants at 5, the Browns would trade up to 4 and get Maui Noah.
The Titans don't want to trade down though. They don't want to trade down.
But what if the Browns give him whatever, like, because I know next year they have 3 first rounders. What if they give him a future first, their first this year, and then like a second? Of course they're gonna trade 2 spots. Of course.
Well, the Titans want probably a pass rusher, to be honest.
Yeah, if
with
David
you,
Bailey
right?
fell, they're gonna take him.
So
the thing about the NFL draft is there's so much that can happen. No, everybody says they don't want to trade, and then they trade. You know what I mean? That's a crazy thing about it. But
hey, and you can get Sonny Styles at there, and if you think about it, Salah's there, and the 49ers or whatever, even the Jets, they had a captain at linebacker. They had Fred Warner, and then they had I forget his name right now. There was a big free agent signing that came over when he went to the Jets.
Wasn't it a white boy?
Nah, black dude. I cannot remember his name right now. He was really good. But anyways, he's going to want a captain of his defense. I think they might go Sonny Styles.
Or Arvell Reese.
Or Jeremiah Love. I know.
Or Jeremiah Love. I think they're going to go one of those two.
Honestly, I'm tired of people saying Arvell Reese is an edge rusher. Keep him at backer, bro. He'd be an insane middle linebacker, bro.
Yeah.
He'd be insane.
You can move him around and then blitz him off the edge, but he needs to be an off-ball backer. I think that's where he's more beneficial. But you can use him as a Swiss Army knife, but you just have to do it smart. You can't do it how we used Isaiah Simmons because then you'll just ruin his career.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I like I said, that was the question of like the 3 overall. It can set us up for success, but you know we could also fail.
Yeah,
we could also fail. We could also fail if we draft 3 overall and we take, someone else. Did I disconnect?
Oh, you're
disconnecting. Yeah, cutting out.
My bad. Another question. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. I had a question basically about pro days. So this past week and last week, a lot of the big NCAA colleges had their NFL pro days. So like Ohio State and Alabama had theirs today, and other schools had theirs previous days. In your guys' opinion, do you think if a player goes off or has a crazy pro day performance, do they strengthen their draft capital, like up their grades, or do you think it just overhypes them? What's your guys' opinions on pro days?
I think at this point, because the combine's already happened, we've gone through free agency, you've already done interviews. Even if you didn't participate at the combine, you still did interviews at the combine. So I think people know intellectually how you are at this point. Now they want to know, like, hey, like, are you just like a game speed guy, or do you have raw potential? Like, or hey, like we see that you've got talent on the field, but you make kind of like errors based off of for whatever reason. Now show me if you've got a higher ceiling than what your film shows. I think that's where they're kind of at with college or the school pro days right now. Like for instance, Kayshawn Elliott, our middle linebacker, went crazy this year. It'll be important. Like he had a good combine, but it'll be important for him to have this pro day as well, just to see, hey, these are drills he's comfortable with. Let me see how he really runs through these drills. Like, let me see, oh, I know he's way faster in these drills because he's familiarized with them than how he did at the combine. Something like that. So
yeah, I think pro days are probably more helpful for the late round picks because these guys, they're trying to go from undrafted to be a good flyer because someone saw them on their pro day. I think pro days are good for that, for them being like, yeah, like I can throw a ball, 70 yards or something. Like, wow, like this looks really good on tape. But on the other side, on the flip side, pro days are just going to be your home team, homegrown team, hyping you up for the NFL. So I wouldn't look too deep into it. It's just something good to look into, just to see how they look. Like Adam said, in their favorite drills.
Yeah,
but we have a good idea of who's going to be in the first round and who's the cream of the crop already. So
Well, you can
yeah,
see
I
it
think
time and time again. These teams fall victim to great NFL Pro Day players, right? They did so good at the Pro Day. They look so polished. They're ready for the NFL. Look at
Anthony
Zach Wilson. Do
Richardson.
y'all remember his Pro Day? He went
Oh, crazy.
yeah,
insane. He made everybody believe that he was the next coming of
I
Christ,
did. I was like, hey, he's
including
gonna be
me. I was like,
nice.
Zach Wilson's nasty. And that was his pro day. And we know these colleges set up pro days to show the strengths of their players. They don't want to show weaknesses. Of
Yeah,
course, Zach Wilson can throw a mean fucking deep ball,
deep
right?
ball. Yeah,
But that was his strengths. And that's what these schools do. So, in my opinion, I think the pro days are kind of um, disingenuine
inflated.
to and inflates the players. And like you said, it's great for them, especially the lower draft type prospects because they get to show out one more time for scouts and stuff. But you don't want to be that team that falls victim to like someone doing amazing on a pro day and then choose taking a flyer because they did great on their pro day.
Well,
well,
and that's
speaking
why I'm
about,
nervous.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Well, that's why I'm nervous about Cardinals going to Alabama's pro day, watching Ty Simpson.
Yeah,
I just know freaking Monty's toast ass fucking sitting there and like,
buttered
wow, this is
toast.
our guy.
Yep,
This
this is
is
our
our
future.
guy. Like I literally think that. This is what I think when I think of Monty is I think Ty Simpson. So
I
we'll
know.
see if they show out to that and how he does for his pro day, but it's just funny to me.
And I think one last point to kind of make, and I kind of decided this, is that pro days are also because not everybody gets invited to the combine.
Yeah.
So the
100%.
players who didn't, this is your time to show out. And sometimes you'll have top draft picks. Like I don't know about Indiana, but maybe Fernando Mendoza throws to some of his receivers who maybe didn't get invited to the
Yes.
combine.
Hmm.
You never know if something like that's going to happen. I know every single year there's always a story about somebody having a crazy pro day and they go it's
Hmm.
Getting
in
a
the sixth
flyer.
round. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah. 100%. Um, One debate that I wanted to bring up, it's very important. The offensive line and the defensive line debate, boys. Last year we signed so much free agents and also spent high draft capital, aka first round pick, on the defensive line. And our D line is still is what it is, right? We're not elite. We're probably mid. I would consider our D line mid. With Walter Nolan, above average. Without him, mid. Um, and then our offensive line, complete dog shit. The reason why Kyler Murray got injured and benched, and also why we sucked last year. We couldn't run the football. So, in your
Hmm.
opinion, if this was the situation, this is just a hypothetical, would you rather spend the number 3 pick on an offensive lineman or defensive lineman?
Offensive.
For me, it depends on talent. I know we've been riding the Maui Noah train, but I'm really in love with the David Bailey as well. And I can see having it sucks because we've been 3 years first rounds like
On D line.
picks D line. So it's like when is one of them gonna hit? But it's just it's crazy because I do see the potential in having another edge rusher that will take the top off because like these guys they're like Cepha said with Walter Nolan and a better coaching staff they're gonna be a little bit of a force to be reckoned with like some kind of like an Eagles type especially if we keep Walter and Darius like going and if we get like a David Bailey so I would say um, defense if it's the right fit, defensive line. Because if you have the defensive line that's game breaking, your team's gonna win games just off of that
Mhm.
alone. But yeah, that's just to play devil's advocate. I'm still with Adam about offensive line.
I think
I will say that's how the 49ers did build up a couple drafts in a row. They first overall pick or first round pick, they went defensive line. But the difference is they hit on their day 2 and their day 3 picks as
every
well. And
year
that's why they're a
they're
good
great.
football team.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And I'm in the same boat where like we all love Maui Noah, so we should just draft him. But you have to take a look at what you're
Yeah.
passing on. If David Bailey falls to 3 and he's already getting comps to Von Miller and he's just a great
Yeah.
edge rusher and he's just amazing, right? and
Yeah.
we were able to take him. And it is a need. It's not like if we took him, it wasn't a position of need. We do need help on defensive line. And if we pass on him and got Maui Noah, and then just down the line, we end up seeing like David Bailey all over the place because he's
Is
amazing.
defensive player
Of
of the
course, we're
year.
going to be
Yeah.
upset, right? So
Mhm.
that's why it's hard. You have to just look at it and be like, I got to remember we have to take the
The best player.
available. And that's what makes the debate really hard is because Maui Noah is amazing, freaking amazing. And so is David Bailey. So, in my opinion, you don't go, I'm not mad at either. If Monty drafted David Bailey 3, I'm not pissed. And if he drafted Maui Noah, I'm not pissed. I guess I'd be a little more happy with Maui Noah because we really are desperate on the offensive line. But what if David Bailey becomes Himothy, right? And we got Josh Sweat and David
Yeah.
Bailey. It's like I'm not mad at that.
And I think right now, not having a quarterback makes me want to go D line just because, like, who are you protecting? Someone
Mm-hmm.
going to throw picks. So it's like, I don't know. I really think if we had like a Kyler Murray or Kirk Cousins, some kind of like good juice in the backfield, that I'd be more willing to be protecting, and get an O line.
And of course, we're going to start building our offensive line once Kyler Murray's gone. I mean, just whatever. But I think of it like this. Okay, you're going to get a quarterback next year. Even if you get let's say you even get Ty Simpson in the second, just
Yeah,
hypothetically, whatever, where you trade up and get him, blah blah blah. You want to protect him,
Mm-hmm.
and you
yeah,
don't want to have to. Let's say we don't get Ty Simpson or any quarterback this year, and then we're just saving, for next year. We've got Josh Sweat locked down for a few more years, so
yeah,
technically we don't necessarily need one. And he's a great pass rusher. He should have been in the Pro Bowl last year,
Mm-hmm.
and he's
100%.
not old. So,
Yeah.
um, what do we need? And you always need is tackles, offensive tackle. We can really get one this year, and then we don't have to think about, hey, like, dang, do we need to trade it back up in the first next year as well on top of the quarterback we need to get? Or can we just bring our
Hmm.
chips to the table and now all we need is that ace in the middle and then we're locked and loaded for the year, right? I would rather
That makes
I would
sense.
rather spend our first and even stay put at
This
3
year.
if we need to for Mawanoa, and then build on defensive line or edge rusher, which is pretty deep this year, in
Yeah.
the second and third round. Even that Keenan guy, whatever his name from
Texas
Alabama, he's
A&M,
projected
Alabama.
or Alabama, yeah, sorry, he's projected to go late third,
Higher.
early fourth round. So,
Yeah.
um, you can really build in that, and I think still get some absolute dogs on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So
My opinion, though, is that not people, but scouts and analysts are ranking David Bailey as just a freak athlete and one of the
yeah,
blue chips in this draft. So is it stupid to not take a blue chip? Because David Bailey's probably the safest pick you can take from this year's draft. Him and
Jeremiah
maybe Jeremiah
Love.
Love, right? Because they
Yeah.
are likely going to succeed in the NFL. Period. And I think Maui Noah could be considered a blue chip in my opinion. But
me too.
all these analysts are saying David Bailey's Himothy. Getting him at 3 is positional value or it's worth it at 3.
Yeah.
If we took Maui Noah, people are saying we reached, even though it's not a reach in our opinion.
Yeah.
So that's my argument. Is if we pass on David Bailey at 3 to draft Maui Noah, is that a bad thing?
Yeah, because you're telling me
Yeah.
that Maui Noah is the same, or if not more elite than Tristan Wirfs, than Penei Sewell, and all these great tackles that we know and all pros in the NFL because they got drafted later. It's
Mm-hmm.
sad to see. I mean, even though Penei I think was 5 overall, so it's still top, like really close, but still 3 is top that, right? It's above that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why picking up a Bailey at 3 you get more positional value out of it being number 3 overall because it's an edge rusher. But yeah, you have to hit. That's
I
the
kind of
scary
hope
part.
that the Jets just take him to get the
Yeah,
Yeah.
get it off our plate
pressure off of
because
us,
I would be very upset if he goes off in the NFL and we pass on him.
and we
I'll be
passed on
completely
them.
honest, and I already know that might be what happens. We'll just have to see.
My thing
I
as
mean,
well
yeah,
is that if we draft David Bailey at 3, he has to play every single down. but we already have Josh Sweat. We've got a pretty solid run outside linebacker / edge defender in Zaven Collins. He did really good last year. So where is David Bailey going to fit in? Like,
I think he'd
what
start
scheme
over
are we
Zaven.
running? Well, you're
Yeah,
going to have two
well,
speed edge rushers.
yeah, I know. David Bailey's knock was his run defense,
Mm-hmm.
but you can put in packages, right? David Bailey definitely could be a third and long type and second and long
Draft
type
Ruben Bain
of
and Bailey. Boom.
linebacker.
Swap them out.
Yeah, just
You're
back
like,
to
dude,
back.
you are
Sell your
dumb.
soul for the third and fourth pick, and then just
Imagine though,
draft them
because
back to
Ruben
back.
Bain's like the running stopper,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
David Bailey's the
Yeah.
pass
They'd be
rusher.
our only 2 draft picks this year. We'd have
Holy
like 2
shit.
picks next year left. Like, that would be it. So
No, I really like David Bailey though, just for the fact that his first step, dude, he's so freaking quick
He's quick.
that it's like you don't see that a lot in edge rushers and that we've ever drafted as a Cardinals fans. So I would love to see some kind of talent like that on our D line, but it's a little scary because like Adam said, like we do have a lot of depth in that. They're not like elite depth, but you got Zaven, you got BJ Ojulari, you got even Jordan Birch.
I like Jordan Birch.
Browning. So we got players there. We do.
Yeah.
We just want elite. So
for me personally, if we take David Bailey at 3, I want to go trade Josh Sweat. I won't lie to you. I want to get him for a late first or an early second and something else.
Not a bad idea, honestly.
But are we going to do it? And the answer is no. Like, we have such great ideas. Like, it makes sense to us, and I think other teams would take it. But is Monty Ossenfort going to do it? The reality is probably not. So that's the sad part, is like, it's just hard to even question what he's going to do based off of his draft record and how he's managed the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last topic before burnout. Our wide receiver core, man. I like the addition of Kendrick Bourne. Very good wide receiver 3. I think it's an upgrade from the Lions, Greg Dortch. In your guys' opinion, do you think that wide receiver room is like a sneaky pick? We should draft a wide receiver in the 2026 draft.
Not sneaky. I think we need to draft two receivers this draft. That's what I think. I think there's some high talent receivers who maybe went to some smaller schools or honestly just the rest of the draft is loaded that you can really get them. I mean, Skylar Bell from Connecticut is pretty insane. The guy that went off
from Indiana,
Sarai, he's like a 3rd round pick right now for some reason.
He's insane.
I mean, there's some really good receivers you can get. I think we need to get one inside and one outside, and we need one of them to be a burner. So no matter what you do, one has to be able to contribute in the slot and in special teams.
What do you think?
Yeah, Mike? And I think injuries are inevitable in this league, and so we only got 3 guys that we can trot out there that are elite. So I think, or I throw out elite so much, I would say good. How about that? 3 guys that we know can play. So definitely take a flyer out on these 4th or 5th options that we want on our team, because you're going to need that, especially when injuries come around. I think also the scary thing too is if we do a trade back, then we go 1st round wide receiver. That's what I think. You trade back because you're going to lose out on the tackle lottery. So what's next? Go for wide receiver. Get a Carnell Tate. Get a Jordan Tyson. And that in itself is going to be value, in my opinion.
100%. I think that would be a great addition. If we trade back in this draft, which I'm not opposed to, and especially if it's like not late 10s or 12 with the Cowboys, we could easily pick up one of the top receivers in this draft, and that would instantly bolster our offensive, receiver core, period. And then we can draft later in the 2nd round a tackle. Right? And I just think that'll help. And again, take a flyer on Nussmeier or Owler and develop. And we're going to have a season of grief this year, but it'll set your future up for success because then you're going to have Marvin, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, and Jordan Tyson in your wide receiver core and Kendrick Bourne. You're set.
Well, then it could give you more firepower to try maybe trade Marvin if you didn't like him that year. So it gives you a lot of options, so many.
I mean, just to bring up this topic, I mean, yesterday on my way home from work, they brought up, hey, is it time to move on from Marvin Harrison while he's still got a first round draft pick stock right now? You can get a first round for him, or are you going to gamble and say, hey, he's going to prove it this year? Because if he doesn't prove it this year, he's a third round pick next year, maybe. So,
which I'm okay with every year prove it this year. I don't know if
every year he's gotten hurt.
Yeah.
So factor that in too.
It's a good argument. I think for me, I'm very home base and I'm very safe, kind of like Monty in the sense. But I think that just having him prove it would be nice, just because we only saw him with Drew Petzing, and we saw how that turned out. He wasn't a good OC. So if you put a good team around him, a good coach, maybe he will end up proving us wrong.
It's just bizarre to me that Marvin Harrison, we saw in his combine, his pro day, his Ohio State year of insanity, just the catches he would make and what he did as a player. I was watching a highlight tape from him at Ohio State. I'm like, Marvin could actually catch the football. Like, it was so weird to me.
He was nuts.
And I'm like, what is the difference? And I really think there's just something that hasn't clicked with Marvin. And maybe Adam's right where he got hit once and he's just scared, playing scared.
Chargers game.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case, and I hope it's just an offensive bad scheming, right? So hopefully he can get unlocked, because imagine if he just becomes what he was in college. Then we'd be fucking insane, man. We'd have elite. Michael Wilson, Marvin, and Trey. Dude, lights out.
Personally, I really don't think we go receiver this year. I really want to. I think if Jordan Tyson, because of this injury that everybody's really skeptical about and scared, if he falls to 29, if we trade back and do that, or if he falls to the second round, man, we're nabbing him immediately.
Dude, and that's and I love that you brought that up, because that's what we were talking about, us trading up for Ty Simpson. I would never in my life trade up for Ty Simpson. But if we traded up that second, third, and a future third for Jordan Tyson, that's 100% worth it. I've watched so many games where this guy just kept ASU in the game. Same with freaking Cam Scatterboot. I said we should have drafted that dude in the third last year, and we drafted Jordan Birch, whatever. Hopefully Birch keeps doing good, whatever. I still think Cam Scatterboot would have been a better pick for our franchise.
Yeah,
100%. And Jordan Tyson's going to make his team better wherever he goes. He benched 225 26 times. That's insane. To me. I've never seen a wide receiver do that.
People are going to say he cheated. Whatever. Even if you do cheat, I still can't do it 26 times.
I can't do that.
I can't even do it 12
I can't arch
times.
my back and do it 26 times, bro.
So, yeah.
Jeez. He's going to be
great.
Then
how is it cheating if the NFL was in there and did
they counted it?
It was the NFL combine.
They're the ones counting. Come on, bro. They want to cry about anything, bro.
For me personally,
the ones saying that are sorry.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's like the ones saying that are the ones who can't even bench 225 once.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Up,
He's arching his back.
For me personally, if we trade back, this is my ideal draft. Okay, if we trade back, let's say hypothetically we trade back with the Cowboys, 12 and 20. Great. We got 12, 20, 34. If we trade back to 12, I want to trade back again and get later draft capital. Trade back to just a couple spots. You can go down to 14. You can even go to 18 for the Vikings for a first and a third. Fantastic. Now you got 18 and 20. I'm drafting best player available no matter what the position at 18. Whoever's there, I'm taking them. Even if it's a tackle, I'm taking them. Okay, but I don't think we would go tackle. I think we go probably a position player, or even Messidor, the edge rusher. You guys are talking about edge rusher. Messidor is probably going to go late teens, early 20s. I would love Messidor at 18. Then 20, you take, you honestly have to take a tackle, because then you don't pick till 34 again. So best tackle, because unless you trade back, but that's not going to happen. So then you go the tackle from ASU, and then at 34, you go defensive lineman or or linebacker or corner. You can go either three, one of those, but you need to improve there. That's like, I feel like the second round is like, hey, what is something that is kind of a strength, but like if we added it, like we're elite now. I think that's what the second round is for. If we add like a solid corner or a solid linebacker or a solid defensive lineman right next to Walter Nolan, I think it makes any of those, barring any injuries, elite at that point. Obviously they have to prove themselves, but you can get a player that you know is going to contribute in the league at that, especially at 34.
I think realistically, if we trade back with 12 and 20, we're not going to make any more trades because we want top 10 talent, or at least I do.
I do
and
too.
12 is
And what
pushing
falls
top
out of
10
the
talent.
top 10?
I still think you'll get a gem out of the top 10.
Caleb Downs.
Yeah, Caleb Downs. Jordan Tyson clearly is going to go out the top 10, which is crazy to me. And
Insane.
there's just a bunch of people. So I would be happy with that. I wouldn't go further than 12 because then you're going with you're not with the cream of the crop anymore.
I got you.
But they're still first rounders, right? But we want someone to make that impact this year. And those guys are like the Maui Noahs, the David Baileys, the Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, right? If Jeremiah Love was available at 12, insta take. I don't care that we have two running backs. I'm still taking Jeremiah Love at 12.
Yeah.
But that's my
I agree.
opinion, and I think if we trade down with the Cowboys and got 12 and 20, we would hope Ty Simpson fell to 20. I wouldn't hope, sorry. Monty Austinfort would hope he fell to 20, and he'd take him at 20. I would still take BPA at 20, 100%, and then 34 would take BPA again, best player
Wait, who's
available.
that? Oh,
best player available. I would go BPA for those two first rounders and 34, and then third round pick. Talk about a quarterback.
So what if we 12 and 20, we went Caleb Downs, Jordan Tyson, 34, we go tackle, which will either be the tackle from Clemson or the tackle from ASU.
I love that.
100%. Yeah, that'd be clutch.
That's amazing.
Clutch.
Okay. You shore up the O-line and you get a freaking star wide receiver with Caleb Downs on defense.
And a star safety.
Yeah. Dude, that's amazing. That's amazing.
We just have to have two players to tango or two teams to tango. So it's like, yeah. Damn, dude. We got to get a new one. That shit's way too loud.
It's only loud because of you.
You just see Junior take his headphones off every time.
Yeah. Bro, my ears, bro. They always get freaking ringing on that shit, man.
Burnout questions. We're going to go quick. Adam, what is your before the draft, what is your rating of our defensive line for the pass rushing out of 10? 1 to 10. What is
pass
your
rushing
rating? Yeah.
6.
What about you, Rick?
Our
D line pass rush.
Pass rush.
Grade it.
Yeah. I would say 6.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ricky, what is one draft prospect that you think's getting too much hype?
That's a good question. Too much hype. Ty Simpson, 100%. He ended up getting someone on ESPN. I forgot first take. He was saying that Orlovsky was saying he's QB1 in this draft over Fernando Mendoza. I was like, you're the dumbest. I don't know. In my opinion, dumbest guy I know. There was no quarterback that is his size that is touted as that number 1 overall type of quarterback. So I was stupid.
I can't trust his takes anymore because he said that. I can't take him serious anymore. For me, Jeremiah Love.
Too much
Way
hype.
Too much hype.
Insane. On the other flip side, Adam, who do you think one player from this draft is going to be a future star in the NFL?
A future star that isn't talked about?
Just anybody that's going to have like X factor capabilities in Madden.
I'm going to go a step further just for the fun of it and say who's not talked about a lot. I think Keith Abney is going to be a dog in this league.
He was amazing with ASU. He low-key carried that cornerback room.
I think he was so underutilized. Like his man coverage is going to be nuts, and I think he's going to be so good in this league.
Oh yeah. What about you, Ricky? Who's one star who's going to be a Madden X Factor player in the NFL?
That's a good question. I think I'd have to go with Sonny Styles, man. He's got all the elite
Good
Ooh.
pick.
freak athlete type, and he's scary good. And if he's in the right system, I think he's going to be the next, type of Fred
You want to
Warner.
control him on the defense when you're playing, on Madden
Exactly,
to get the
bro.
sacks.
User pick, user picks,
User
sacks.
truck.
The guy's fast, 99 speed. No,
Yeah.
What about you,
super
Sefa?
cool.
What do you think?
Super cool.
Jordan Tyson. I fucking love that dude. And I just remember last season watching him and like the catches he'd make. I just kept thinking like, man, this guy is insane. I haven't
So
seen him.
good.
I guess I don't watch football. I don't know ball, right? Just kidding. No, I when I've watched like college football, I haven't seen a receiver that's like him in a while. Maybe I don't want to watch a lot of football. He kind of like was like what's his face from U of A. Um Ted Roy McMillan. Like he had that star aura, right? And he'd catch everything thrown at him, even when it was a bad pass. So
dude, that'd be awesome.
Adam, if the Cardinals draft offensive line at number 3, what's your immediate reaction?
Happy. I'm happy with that pick. I'm happy that you didn't overthink it.
Yeah.
If you don't get exactly what you want and you have a plan with that trade back,
happy.
I don't want it. So stay at 3 and pick the surefire player.
What about you, Rick?
Yeah, man, I want to be ecstatic pounding the table when we get O lineman at 3, because then it's going to be the number 1 O lineman in the draft. So yeah, I'll be super happy.
As long as it's Mawanoa. If it's Fano,
yeah,
I'm gonna be a little like I won't be mad, but I won't be ecstatic.
Be like, why?
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Be like, wait, is he gonna be playing guard? What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ricky, you have to pick one. Would you rather trade back in this draft or stay put? If you can, if you could trade back, you can.
Do you know where is this trading back to?
Let's just say we can trade back with the Cowboys. 12 and 20.
Trade back. Yeah, I trade back this year. It's sad because you're not going to get top 10 talent, but I see the need in quarterback, and I think that if we did that, we could have a chance at Ty Simpson sweepstakes.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
Well, now I don't want to since you said Ty Simpson.
You're like stick and pick.
Honestly, ideally, I want to trade back, get more picks, and still get Mawanoa at 5.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
So you trade back up when you trade back down?
Kind of do what we did for Paris, trade down and then trade back into the top 5.
Not even that. Trade down to 5. Get Mawanoa before the Browns.
That'd be amazing.
And then you've got two third-round picks
or something.
And then you can trade back up in the second and get 2 second-round picks. That's what I want to do. But I would say, just to be the opposite of you, I'm gonna say stay, because I really want Mawanoa. I think he's gonna be our right tackle of the future, and that's kind of how the Saints with Drew Brees were set up. They had 2 tackles that you knew were gonna protect Drew Brees, and I think that's just setting up our quarterback of the future for success.
Yeah, I agree.
Last question in Burnout today. It always changes because every week we get a clearer picture of our team. But Rick, in your opinion, how many games are we winning next season?
4 games. I confidently say 4 because that's how much we won last year. So we can't be any worse, right?
So we're not going to be worse than last year. Okay, Adam, what do you think?
We shouldn't.
With our roster construction and with how free agency played out for the teams that we are playing, I'm going to say 3 to 4. It's really sad, but I think that's our floor, though, which is crazy. You can go a ceiling to 6 to 8, but that's with, our coach actually showing that he can make players better. So,
yeah. I agree, boys. I think right now, as of March 25th, we're at a 3-win season. So we'll have to see how the offseason continues to play out. And if you're still listening, Desert Dynasty fans, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for subscribing, hitting a follow, hitting a like, and please hit those buttons. It does support our podcast, and we appreciate y'all. And we love y'all. Any last words, boys?
That's it, man. Love y'all. Take it out. Take it easy, boys.
Yeah. Excited for the draft. Let us know who you guys would want to take at 3.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all next week.
A couple weeks left.
Yeah, a couple weeks left. It's heating up. It's getting hot. And it's heating up in Arizona. I'm fucking hot. Get me out of here.
Yeah, it is hot, dude.
Later.